Excuse me. Okay, guys, let's get started. I'm been out of the office for quite a while this week. Yeah, but the market continued to melt up, which is what was expected. And like I've always said, we're in buy the dip mode. All right, guys. So like always, this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education, entertainment purposes only. You have to own your own decision. Don't copy trades blindly because I may leave a trade at any moment or enter it. So, so be advised on that. So just be careful who you follow, especially out there on the internet. A lot of bad advice out there, which is why I started my channel, guys, all the way back at the beginning of this downturn, all the way back in December 2021, because there was so much bad advice, and I think there's a lot of bad advice that has been given since really the start of the year in January by your internet traders that have 10,000, 100,000 followers. Most of them got this move wrong that I have here. Also, the fundamental investors, they told you we were due for a pullback. I told you January was going to be good, a good month it was, and we're still seeing nice strength, and that is going to continue. It is going to continue. We are not in our danger areas yet. So the market forecast continues to be higher, but will there be pullbacks? Absolutely. I do think. So here's a tricky. We may actually be playing out our wave three finally. No more extension here. It could be finally the three, and now we do our fours and fives to top out this market, unless we erase divergence. We'll know next week. If we can erase divergence next week, then the market will continue to extend, and we may go into the 520 area or higher. So we need to see how we trade next week. We could either be topping out again in this count that I have, and then we get these fours and fives, or we get another 1-2, like another deep correction, and then we can go higher. So the market forecast next week is not very clear. It wasn't as clear as it was, when I gave my forecast going into the week where we pulled down, and really that downturn lasted just not even 24 hours. So it was done and over, and the 15-minute time frame gave you an entry. So if you're a day trader, you had a buy area. Here was your connector right there, straight down crash correction, the buy area. Using my system, and then we haven't looked back since, and that was all the market gave you. So you don't have a lot of opportunities to get long in this market. So you gotta look for your setups, and then stick your neck out there a little bit. We could have saw the double correction lower last week, but it just didn't happen. Just didn't happen. So the market is leaving one side behind. One side of the market's going left behind, and I get it. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't do it. It's not supposed to do it. I'm so much smarter than the market. My divergences say it shouldn't. My McKellen isolator or whatever, all your smart tools say it, but it is. Why is it doing it? Why is it doing it? Well, let me think for a minute. There could be a couple reasons. There's a lot of liquidity on the sidelines, kept playing catch up, just chasing at any price. There could be a hyperinflationary impulse working its way through the market that is just getting started, that we are oblivious to right now until the commodities start to run again. So that would be, like I call it, a Venezuela melt up, right? Remember, Venezuela, when it hit hyperinflation, its stock market went up like 100 times. Like stocks didn't crash, guys. And hyperinflation melt up stock market is usually melting up with it, So because everything, your currency is basically trash. So I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but is this like the first inning of some situation? I don't know, but it is strange. It is strange the big cap, how they're melting up, but but we got to trade the chart. We got to trade what's in front of us. I don't really care why, but it is a very unusual moment in the market. The the one thing I point out again is always keep an eye on the bigger picture. You have a cup and handle breakout, and the measured move would get you to the 600s. That would be a moon boy scenario. So that's the reason you can't be too bearish. Now, we could get a false breakout, which is what this chart predicts, and we crash. So we don't know. We still don't know the path of the market, where it's going to go, moon boy or crash, but we'll know soon enough. Maybe by March, we should know, and then we'll see. You know, the longer term momentum indicators are something to keep an eye on too. We have this monthly. You know, the monthly is not broken out, but we keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on that. The Dow Jones monthly is not broken out, but it's right. It's right there. Look, you see the Dow Jones is going to break. If it breaks this, my guess is, and again, this is my guess. These guys, you may see more strength in the market than you can imagine, but that is the first warning sign for bears. You're in a lot of trouble, and maybe moon boy could happen, but it's going to find resistance. And if you look, we are in the danger area in the Dow futures. We are in the danger zone, the danger area in the Dow. Not, now the Dow, the cash market, we're not there. You see, we're a lot closer. The Dow is a lot closer. Tech got some room. The SPY has got some room. The IWM, a lot more room. I expect the IWM to finish somewhere here, 220. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on too. So this is a very interesting market in sense that we have two very different scenarios in play, moon boy and crash, and that's very binary but very extreme, and we will know soon enough. So guys, let's go to your questions and see what you got, and hopefully my videos were helpful and navigating this mess. But again, if we do go down, it's just another dip to buy. Just remember that if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's just another dip to buy. Just another dip to buy. So just keep that in mind. But next week is really tough to forecast where the market's going to head. Very too many possibilities. Not clear. Okay. Anonymous, yeah, hey, Bitcoin did it, man. If you watch my video, I gave you guys the buy right here. And I tried to, again, test. It always tests your patience, right? You test your patience, and we got the breakout of the inverse head and shoulders. We were watching, and man, look at this move. So now we have to start thinking, is it a wave 5? Or was this a 1-2? And we're going to new all-time highs in Bitcoin. So we have to look at the RSIs to give us some answers to this question. What is this? Is that a 4 or a 2? So we got to look at the cycle. So you can't tell from the daily. So let's go to the weekly cycle. So the weekly cycle indicates to me is still a wave 4. Okay? This is still a wave 4. You see that? If this pullback had reset that weekly, then I would have called it a 2. So it's not. So it's a wave 4. So not, so that's interesting. That means it should peter out. The likelihood of it petering out is strong and not going vertical. But I can't eliminate the vertical, but I think this would be the possibility. So where is the sell area? 51,000, 54,000. So if we get up to this area with the bearish divergence, with the RSI not breaking out, in everything kind of staying as is, I probably will take my profit on Bitcoin there, and then try to play this wave 2 which should come back to this area somewhere at 36, 35,000 over a multi-month correction before we get the massive move higher. So that is what I'm looking at now. You see, there's a channel, and this would be a channel breakout and then breakdown. That's what this is kind of indicating. Do we have any historical resistance there? We do right there. Well, actually, let's take another look at that. Right there. Right there, there. So there is some resistance at this 52,000. Now, some people do see a bigger picture. Zoom out. I'm not going to erase my labeling, but you could see a left shoulder, a head, and a small little right shoulder that's breaking out. So some traders are looking at this pattern and going, yes, Moon Boy, massive breakout, and we're just going to jump to all-time highs and go. And if we do that, that would be surprising. And then the only count that would justify that would be, this wouldn't be a 1-2. It would be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3 of 3 Moon Boy. So again, the next week of trading action's key to see how we do that. And I would want to see the short-term divergences erased. So the daily, we'd want to see it take this peak out on the RSI here to call a potential 1-2, 1-2 setup. So if I was in Bitcoin, I'm staying long. I'm staying long from these areas, this area, and I was buying down in here, I'm staying long. So I'm going to stay long and just see where we go from here. When we're here, we'll have to decide. And yeah, there's a risk being too greedy here. But we need to wait and see. Now, I'll go to your Mara and your question, but that's the Bitcoin overview. All right, so Mara found support in our buy area. Again, I gave you guys a setup. Now, this ended up doing something like that here. And then it pulled back at a deep 2, and now it's vertical. Typical wave 3 action, right? So this is just sit back, relax, and get paid. You don't do anything. Mara, your opportunity is over. If you had been following me, you had plenty of time to pick it up. You've missed the dip. The dip is over. So now you just sit back and get paid. I mean, that's what you do here. I mean, the first impulse could be over right now. It could be another 1-2. It could be that, right? We could also be done that 3 and 4. We could be doing something like that, and we pull back. Too many possibilities. The only thing I can say is we're in wave 3 lands, and you could just use your imagination, and now it's time to get paid. It's time to get paid. And yeah, I mean, this was the setup. It was so good. Look at that 3-wave move, so textbook. But it did make you be patient, just like AI did. That stock AI finally broke out yesterday. It's just the market loves to take money from people that are impatient traders. And I have a lot of followers that are impatient because I get these DMs of you guys mad at me when something doesn't happen. But then it happens, and then it's like, you guys, it's like, eat crow, man. It's like you're just impatient. So if you're going to be a trader, you got to be patient, especially on the long side. Short sides happen quickly, you'll know, immediate gratification, but fear is quick. Fear is, that emotion translated in price action is quick and fast. But greed is slow and builds, and so that you got to be patient. A bull trader, a trader that's long, a long trader has extreme patience. Look at Warren Buffett, man. He's the epitome of a bull trader. Fundamental, just holds, doesn't get shaken out. Just that's a bull trader. So bull traders, you got to hold, and that's what Mara did. It tested your patience as a trader, and you got rewarded with the patience. You got rewarded. And then CLSK, I remember I didn't really like this one. but it had a similar setup, and yeah, I mean, look, it even broke the high. So you now have a higher high sequence. So it is now off to the races again. But you know you got to look for a pullback. You can't be like just market buy. I want to go long. You can't do that, guys. You can't momentum market buy. Um, but if you get a pullback, it's buyable. So we should be seeing $23 in this. It's in wave three land. It's in wave three land. And yeah, so there you go. It's. But again, wave three could be over. We could be in another one too. Too many possibilities to think through. Too many possibilities to think through. But yeah, that uh, this cycle is over, and now it's extending, and the next major support area would be at 22. Yeah, 20, this area right here. And then you probably will form that inverse head and shoulders, right? You anticipate the pattern, left shoulder, head, get some sell in here, right shoulder, you get that pullback deep, maybe back even to $10, and then out. Moon, moon. So that's the pattern. Bitcoin this cycle. Okay, so let's say Bitcoin is good to go, and we're in a cycle. Um, where's the buy? Where's the long term chart say for Bitcoin? Let's take a look at it real quick. Long term chart. Let's take a look. All right, so um, long term chart. What we're doing is we're calling this a flat correction. That's the only count that would work. Okay, that's the only count that works. RSI took out those RSIs, so it's a full cycle correction. Okay, so now we're in three. So the nature of wave threes in Bitcoin are straight vertical action. We're going to be in a wave three, guys. This is a wave three. So what do? You don't trade in and out, because wave threes in Bitcoin go vertical. Here, this was a wave three, right? And what do you mean by that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is a wave three. Wave three action. This is wave three action, okay? So one way to look at Bitcoin is, what was this Fibonacci, extension off of that peak, that wave two, because this was the last cycle degree, right? This was the previous grand super cycle now replaced, and extend it almost through, just below this 2618. So it was an unthinkable run, right? Unthinkable run from that extension. So the question is, can it do something similar with something as unthinkable, and what would be the safe bet? So I'll give you the safe bet, and then the unthinkable, moon boy, beyond your wildest dreams. But that would just match the last cycle, so it's not as unthinkable as you could consider. Um, okay, so the safe bet would be 123,000, 123,000, 125,000 ish. Okay, and then yeah, then the other extreme is probably that's 1.4 million. So that's probably like $1 million of Bitcoin. That's the unthinkable target, right? That would be the Kathy Wood target, $1 million Bitcoin on this wave three cycle. And that would just match the previous wave three cycle we've seen historically. So Could it happen? I'm not a future teller. Why would it happen? Could it be a hyperinflationary loss control? I don't know. Who knows why? But am I going to say it's going to $1 million? No, I'm not going to be that foolish. But I do think 125 is definitely doable. 125, 125. But if it's a wave three, you really are going to want to trade in and out of it. In fact, if you were able to get long recently, let's say you watched me last week and you got long, you should be accumulating in these areas and then holding for multiple years, multiple cycles. Like the price should pull back here, but I don't think it's going to go much lower than where we are here. So this is just like you accumulate, you run, you pull back, you buy more. You just kind of accumulate and then you let it run and then you just hold it. You hold it. All right, so guys, that's a pretty deep crypto update. Let's go to MSOS. I'll go to your Nirvana. Let's go to that, MSOS. Looks like we've done that one before. And yeah, we're getting close to that sell area we tagged. It looks like that this wave 5 is done. And we're done this 3, and now we're in this 4. So I can be off by one swing. Elliott waves is not that straightforward. I could be off by some swings. So you really need to be careful now because you are getting a pretty hard change of, trend that we've topped. You got to be careful. So we would look at the RSI, and we're starting to see that break on the 4-hour here, but not yet. So if that 4-hour breaks, then it is topped, and the labeling is just a little, it's a little a little off. And like I said, this is why Elliott waves isn't that perfect to trade on its own, but you get the idea. It's probably better to do something like that, given what I'm looking at, something like that. But if we could get into this area, that would be the sell area for short traders. But keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. It may have already topped out. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, let's go to MVIS. Let's see. We don't have that one. Microvision. So we had this wave 2, and it just extended deeper, but it found support above that low. And again, it's like I've always said, testing the patience of a trader, of a long trader. It held 2, it held the low, and now 3. So it could be on a massive breakout watch. This should be on breakout watch for you. As long as this low holds. And if you want to be safe, you could put your stop here at 213. But nothing's changed. Still on breakout watch. And then Palantir obviously reversed already, truncated. So I was looking for this flat correction. We didn't get it. So we got what you call run-in flat. And those are usually really bullish, and that's just the nature of the market. That's why run-in flats are hard to predict. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so now we're in wave 3 land. So Palantir is buy the dip in 3 ways. If you can get a pullback in 3 waves on any time frame, I would pick it up and hold. It seems likely you're going to get a breakout. It's trending. It will trend to new all-time highs eventually, but it does look like this correction's over as a run-in flat. I mentioned on the stock market, we could still get a run-in flat ourselves in the market. Here, this C does not have to break the October 22 lows, it may only come back to like Palantir to 380 and get a run in flat. So be careful even when we get this pullback, so just something to keep in mind. All right, let's see. GME. Again, GME is the same thing. Testing the patience of a trader, and the Russell is really key to what GME will do, the Russell index. And we had some support on the Russell on Friday, and GME is showing support. So GME, let's go back, big picture. Full correction is over. So usually the first wave F of a massive down move typically has a deep wave 2 retrace that's really as nasty as the first. And that's what we're seeing. We're looking at a massive flat. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does look like now this cycle is over with that pump, and we broke that peak here on Friday. So I am looking at, now we have a bull trend. We really do have a pivot. So as much as I want to, be like, I'm going to zero, I'll stop out here at 1344 and just say it was wrong. But this is my stop now, because now you have a new cycle, this should now reverse from here. If it doesn't, then it's most likely coming down to break this low, and if it breaks that low, it's going single digits, and I don't want to be part of it at that point. And this trade just didn't work out, and that's why I always say sometimes I can be wrong. I can be wrong, and maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong on this, but I'm right now the market has not has not invalidated the bullish count. So we'll see. Taking out this high at 15 and getting this fifth wave will confirm the reversal. So that'll be important on Monday. Get this follow through. All right, thanks, Alex. All right, let's go to the top of our questions. TMF. Remember, TMF gave us that fake out, which cautioned us. I'll kind of go through TMF again, guys. TMF, I gave an update on for someone, may have been you, for all I know. We had that lower low break. Okay, guys, we had this lower low break right here. And when I said that happened, I said, Dan, that's going to be rates are going to go higher, man. I said when that happens. But what the market loves to do is do this like break the low, rip and crash, I call it. Where you come down, you break this low, and then you rip, and then you crash. So let me do it the wrong way here. There. Break the low, rip, crash. That's what's happening here. So that this is saying we should come down to this 49 area, but by doing this pattern, it also shows we should get another leg higher later. So you're going to have to wait through this if you're trapped in it. So this looks like 5 down, maybe a 3 down actually. So something like. But I would expect another swing higher. Now, this has been bearish for the market, but in some ways the market's still been now melting up with rates running, so that's odd. But it's been happening, so I wouldn't guarantee it. But I know when this happens, I mean, small caps and everything's going to melt up, and that will probably be our final push higher. And then when this is finished, when this 3-wave is finished, then it's a massive. This is where the market will either decide super crash, rates to new highs, 7%, or moon boy, rates plummet, and it's happy days here again. Don't know. Pick your path. So I don't know, but this is where I think it's going. TMF is going. Here I can't tell you, but I do think we're going to come down, maybe tag 49, and then we should bounce out of that. And then there's a massive decision for the overall stock market. Yeah, UNG. I warned you guys on that breaking those lows on on the natural gas. I stopped out of oil with a small profit when I was trying to day trade that, and man, that is one dangerous instrument. I definitely don't like trading natural gas, to be honest, like day trading. Now, the one thing in the back of my head that bothers me is we did see oil go negative. What if we're going to need a capitulation event where natural gas just goes negative? I mean, so I don't know. I just don't like trading it anymore. It's just the price action just really bothers me, especially if my forecast for oil is lower. That's only going to put more downward pressure on natural gas. So Fibonacci standpoint, it should find support for a rally or bounce at 1595, 1240. So there's still more downside. I would say natural gas still has more downside. When we get to this area at UNG, we should see a relief rally or a bounce. But I'm starting to get concerned with what I'm watching overall, uh, and perhaps we're forming a head of some kind. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's what I look at UNG at. Okay. Oh, Bama, man, thanks for the 20. Yeah, bad week this week long. Yeah, this the market. It's not everything underneath the hood is moving. There's a lot of talk about breadth being bearish, and you're experiencing it depending on what stocks you're in. You could be on in that firsthand. Now, the bearish divergence with breadth could play out as hidden bullish divergence, because if the bearish divergence becomes too extreme, then it becomes hidden bullish divergence. So that's why divergence trading is real tricky, because your bearish divergence or bullish divergence can easily become hidden divergence on the opposite side if it becomes too extreme. And that's what we're actually seeing with the broadening of the market. It's almost too extreme, and we need a snapback of some kind. And I think Friday started it, so I do think we're going to see some small cap action, some other stuff run. I think we're due for that. Russell run. I think we're due for that. The Russell broke out, guys. If you haven't been following it on Friday, right? No, and everyone was clamoring bearish divergence, but look, cup handle breakout. We finally got this breakout. We could be in a wave 3 of a C wave. That'd be a nice melt up. That will support all our fun stocks we love to trade, Fubu's and GameStops, and you have it, space, and just that will be great if this is what we have in the next couple weeks coming for us, and I think we do. But Fubu, yeah, Fubu, man, is again, you got to be patient if you believe in the bull case. Some FUD dropped on it about some sports streaming package. It panicked traders, but then it found support right at the Fibonacci area, and it hasn't bounced with tweezer candles on the 4 hour. So it was like a perfect setup. Again, like GameStop, just a much higher degree correction, which is typical coming off of a massive downtrend. So I look at this. This definitely looks impulsive. A, B, C in some kind of flat correction. But we never broke this high, so it doesn't have to be a flat. So the low could be in here, right there, in this area of support. But there is a possibility, if it is a flat, it needs 1, 2, 3, 4, one more move lower. So you need to be cognizant that it could play one more drop to break this low for the despair phase of Fubu. But I do believe that, essentially for it to go below this level, looking at its earnings, its revenue, its fundamentals, you would have to believe it's going bankrupt. Bankrupt. And I just don't looking at the fundamentals. I don't see it in risk of bankruptcy. I look at the market cap. I do think it's just not on the radar of a fundamental investor. So I do think it has actually fundamental support. Fundamental support. And when things have fundamental support, that's when the CEOs, when they drop earnings, they surprise you with stock buybacks and shit like that. So it'll be interesting to see. The CEO was super pissed at this announcement too. He came out. So I bet when earnings drops, he's got a surprise for I just got a feeling based on the reaction. So my guess is I'm hoping this guy drops the hammer with some fundamental excitement to get this thing charged again, supercharged. So we'll see how it goes. Uh, the stop loss is a buck. It was 96 cents. Of course, by that point, I've already lost so much money. I'll just let go to zero and say fuck it. I mean that was and I knew that going in, and that was because I knew this was going to be a wild ride. So I'm just going to hold on. And again, whoever's playing games, if I'm just holding the zero on this one, and I could afford to lose what I put in. But anyway, this is it. So good luck if you're in it, but just know that it could break this low, but really you really want to see this low hold at here, and then after that we'll have to you could reassess it on your own, do what's best for you if you're trading it. PayPal. Let's take a look at PayPal. I'm surprised PayPal didn't do well because usually crypto pumps. PayPal kind of goes with crypto. What happened to PayPal here? Oh, we got this two wave. Yeah, this is a flat. It got caught up in some flat. Yeah, I mean, man, this is what happens with flats. So if you get caught in a flat, if you're trapped in a flat, you got to understand for what it is. So you don't get shaken out. But you see how you made the higher high? So the market should protect you, but you're going to have to diamond hand it and basically shut your computer off and not watch this thing, or you're gonna stop yourself out. So I do think it's got more downside to 53.71. And it's in a flat. It's caught up in a flat. Now I'm looking at something like this. That would be the ideal setup, something like that. And yeah, flats are nasty. They destroy traders, man, because they don't know. They're confused. They don't know what it is. But I almost think flats too are somewhat of market manipulation from big players, big whales. Love to do that. Like, look, you run stops here, like momentum chasers get trapped. You drop, and then you stop people out here and here, and then you only to rip to new threes. Now, that's what I'd be looking for. And once you get this trend line break, then the reversal's in. So I still think it's something like that. All right, anonymous SQQ. I wouldn't touch SQQ unless you want to, I guess, short it. There's no reason to be short. And please don't. If you guys are following me, do not get caught up on the internet chatter about shorting the market or the $100,000 followers. You don't want to short this market, guys. You don't want to short this market because you're getting divergence erased. That's what's happening here. We're getting divergence erased. We're just about to on the SQQ. More than likely, that's what's about to happen. So you don't want to short it. So it looks like to me, divergence is about to be erased to extend the downside wave 5 here in SQQ. So I think it's still got more downside. Technically, still a 5. Unless we pop out the divergence on the higher time frame, the daily. If we could plummet, then it's not a wave 4 here. So something like that. So that's what we're looking at. So that's SQQ, Mara and CLSLK. How high can they go? So I gave those updates on Mara and CL, but how high? So I'm looking at a longer term cycle, the weekly cycle. So look, CLSK had not been, that was the last Bitcoin wave 3 run. So the question is this correction over, or are we still in like an X wave, right? What are we in? My guess is we're still in the X wave. No, maybe not. Well, That would still be an X. It's just um, so I think it's like this. Um, so I do think this isn't the best chart to trade. Like out of all these, with the long term, like what's clear long term, this one isn't that clear long term. This one still has a lot of bearishness long term. It could see 52, 68 bucks. So that's that. And then Mara, let's look at Mara long term. All right, that one did hit new high, so we're good with that. So Mara was good here. This is irrelevant because I don't even know what the company did back then, right? I mean, that was pre crypto stuff. So we're looking at this. So for me, I look at this and go, okay, so where was its last cycle peak here, right there? Uh, won't be exact, but we got just to the 1618 extension. So let's look at it that way. And that's usually good for a wave 3, right? That's usually where you see this stuff. It'll be like 137 bucks, 100 125 somewhere in here. That's the cycle peak. Okay. That would be Mara, and then LTCN. I don't like Litecoin, man, but LTCN has been trading different, right? So I still want to see this kind of it won't go this deep now because we got this double correction higher MB. Um, so that looks like five down. So I still am looking for LTCN to hit 1629, 1754, and then a pullback to retest this low. Maybe it gets back to $8. Maybe it tags 747, something like that, something like this. So that's what I'm looking for in LTCN. Now, how high can it go? This is a tough question because it can trade above NAV as people do it. Tough to say where could it end up on this cycle. I mean, this price action is irrelevant to me because people were buying it not knowing the conversion back then. They thought like one Litecoin was 80. They didn't understand that. So now left shoulder, some kind of head. So maybe 48.52. Where's our? But then there's no resistance. Maybe $100. 100 to be safe. 100. So it would be like what, around $1,000 a Litecoin? Isn't that right? Somewhere around there. So that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. Thanks for the super chat, Anonymous. Okay, let's keep going with your guys' questions. Sean, yeah, ITRM hit kit. Let's see. Let's see here. ITRM. And then HKIT. Two new symbols that I've not seen before. Always like to start with the long-term chart. Okay, so long-term chart, a lot of, I mean, right away it looks very impulsive coming down here, but somewhat corrective. Let's see here. Not enough chart history to really do it justice, but it does look like this downtrend move is over. Whatever this is, this definitely looks like 5 connector 3. So that looks like a W here, some kind of X, A, B, and then three connector, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so let's find where this thing bottoms out at. Right there. Okay. There. So it's bullish against that low. So it's in a whole new cycle higher, which is what I figured it was in. Something like that. And then it should pull back. So that's what I'm looking for. But it should cycle higher. Now you do need to take out this peak at 252 to confirm the bullish advance. If you don't do that, it's just a corrective move. And since it's a connector for the entire move, it would be so bearish, it would be a go to zero moment. So you could, if you're an aggressive short trader, you could try to short it here, but you would need to like get out of that trade at 252. So it's just a lot of risk there, but because it's three waves. So the market is, I think it's going to break higher. I don't think it will break down. That's too bearish given how long it's been correcting. I think it needs more upside, but do what's best for you. HKIT. Oh yeah, definitely not a lot of chart data on this one. I mean, what happened here? Was this thing IPO and just bomb? Wow. So, I mean, this is the epitome of a corrective move off the low. So this to me is bearish. Bearish it's going to trend lower. You know, something. So the question is, where's that wave 4 at? Okay, 3. So it's not an impulse. It's only a corrective move. So it's his. See, this is where RSI really helps you. So this is a corrective move. This is a corrective move. So you could label it. I mean, you could label it like this, because this is a corrective move. And if you look at this, this actually looks kind of as an impulse. I could force it. You see? And you do have some divergence at the top a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to take out $40, but how to trade it, I would be trading off of the low, you know, which is pretty low, 53 cents. And then you could try to buy it in three waves as speculation. There's your connector, okay? So would you buy it here? No. Now, could it run from there? Sure, anything's possible. But using my system, that gets you back to retest the lows. So, but the low should hold. So what would I do if I was in this and I'm like, oh, I want a piece of this. Maybe it's go to 40 and I'm going to be rich. You know, I would just keep it on my watch list. And if one day I look at it and it goes under $1, I'm picking up my lottery ticket. I'm going to buy my lottery ticket on this. So my lottery ticket purchase would be ideally at 70 cents, between 70 and 50 cents, but anywhere under $1, fill this gap. And then it's a lottery ticket play, because if you hit the lottery, the nature of the chart says it needs one more advance higher, because it's 5. So it should give you one more cycle higher to break this high at some point. And that would be more than a 10 bagger. What does this company do? What was so exciting? Was this one of these Chinese pump and dumps? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but that's how I do it. Would I buy it here? No way. This would be total gambling. Go to Las Vegas. This is a lottery ticket, but the odds could be in your favor and not the house if you get it if you can get a piece of it down here. All right, it's good to see you on my live stream, man. Next, Mark. Let me make sure I don't have any more super chats. Okay, good. Mark. I don't trade the currency markets typically. I don't definitely don't trade the pound yen, but the dollar yen I do look at it once in a while. Let's look at my last chart. I haven't looked at it, you know, that closely. Let me see if I thought I had dollar yen here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I did have a sell area on dollar yen to keep an eye out for at 158. Now you see you've got five up, but we're in this wave five off of a massive, right? You know, what is it? Yen weakness, right? It's been a weak yen, right? Isn't this a weak yen? Let me make sure I understand it right. Yeah, yeah. If the yen's weak, the dollar's strong. So yeah, so and then what happens? Is this going to be yen strength? If this happens, this typically foreshadows market crashes, right? So yen strength. So I don't know. I mean, could my count be wrong? Could the yen weakness extend? It could become a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Yen weakness extends. So I don't, like I said, I don't trade the currency markets. I just like to watch it. We did pivot here, which was interesting. So it looks like that first wave is over here. Here off this low, I said I do like once in a while I may take a piece of it through these ETFs. You guys are familiar, YCS, YCL, Ultra Yen, Pro Shares, and Ultra Short Yen. But I mean, I'm not no expert in currency trading. I am definitely not the person to ask on currency trading, but I think I know enough to be dangerous, and I do think though yen weakness should persist, which should support the market. I think so. All right. Got another super chat I think came in. Huh. No, that's fine, man. Keep the super chats coming. Okay, how high can those go? Sure. And I think all our followers are interested too in crypto. Um, so BCHG, unlike LTCN, we have not taken that high out. So until then, it could still be in danger of this drop to 237. But if it could take the high out, it could push back up to maybe $5, and then it would just be a retest of the low, and then the box will come up, right? But for now, I won't label it. So this again, it's just like LTCN. It's really tough to forecast exactly where it would go, but all we can do is because of the nature of the instrument, it has an NAV premium, and in a mania cycle, NAV could go 300-400% NAV. I mean, we don't know. Um, that would be $1,000. Bitcoin Cash here roughly. I think Bitcoin Cash will hit 4,000 in this cycle coming up, so that would probably push you higher than this. So where would that be? That would be around this resistance area here, $40. So I do think this is probably the area it eventually spikes up to in some kind of mania, greed moment. That maybe even just maybe 34, this general area, and then it will have a multi-year consolidation after that, a massive consolidate. But that's what I'm thinking we get. So just keep that in mind if you're in Bitcoin Cash at the moment. For now, yeah, we haven't even broke that trend line, so it could even be a 1-2, 1-2. So just keep that in mind. Uh, I like Bitcoin Cash more than Litecoin in chart. Next is what else is you got? Hut and Riot. What's Hut doing? Yeah, Hut was a good one we just called. We nailed that buy area exactly. And again, it tests the patience of a trader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? With a deep correction out. And now we should be coming out of this. Now, I would have your stop loss here because this is a connector. So you definitely want to stop out if you're at 620, but it should continue higher. Let's look at HUT on the big picture. Definitely followed the Bitcoin cycle, which is good to see that. How does its wave 3 react? Looks like it hits the 2618. So that's what I would kind of expect to see. So that could hit $215 on a wave 3. So this one I'm like much better than because it's clear. Like, look, this is very bullish. It followed Bitcoin's cycle exactly, right? Whoops, get rid of that. And let's hope it does something like that one day. So we'll see. We'll leave it like that. Then the next one is Riot. So Riot does break the cycle. You see here, I like connecting the peaks here. This one I'll do a little different. 1618 extension of the previous depth of the last cycle. And that gets you, look, right on the trend line. Is that a coincidence or what? You have trend line, trend line, trend line, 168. So am I going to be a genius and call Riot at $128 in the middle of 2025, 26? Maybe. There it is. Right there. I don't see why it wouldn't hit that in the next cycle. All right, next is the next one is BitF. BitF. Again, we got this one in here. So we hit a nice three-wave move. We're in support, so it should be coming out of this now. If it breaks 188, I would stop out. It's going to come back and retest those lows. Again, seem to follow Bitcoin's cycle here. There's no good way to look at the wave 3, so this one is really hard to forecast where it would end up, but I think it's safe to say it would be $15, $16. Somewhere in this area. So that's like a safe target. And that's it. Thanks. Thanks for the super chat. IWM. Yeah, IWM is, like I've mentioned before, it is a strange looking thing. We broke October lows. Remember that, guys. We broke October lows. Just like we saw in TMF, what does the market love to do? Break the low, rip higher, and then crash lower. But all that is a shakeout. But what that also means is more than likely, years from now, we will be at higher highs. So if you get caught in this, you're going to have to just hold through it. Now, when are we going to get the breakdown? I don't know, but I do think we have one more move higher at least. And that's what I'm charting here. A, B, C, we're in C, we're in 3. We should get some upside. And then rug pull. Now, the rug pull could happen, X could happen at 220. I don't know where this rug pull will happen. It could even become an expanded flat like we saw in the stock market. So what I'm saying is you need to trade long Russell, buy the dips Russell until further notice. And that's what I've been doing in my Ben suggestion. After we did get stopped out on our short, if you guys follow me, we did short it here, right? And again, this also tells you about my system of trading, right? So we had a short here on the Russell, right here, and then it was playing out. My entry was right around at 180, 180 right here, playing out, and then I got stopped out at like 182. So I lost like a buck. Boo hoo hoo! I lost like $1 on a trade. I didn't lose my butt, right, on a short. I barely lost, stopped out. So then what do? I wait. I don't just go chase it long because I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? So you wait, you wait, you wait. Oh, you get your pullback, and three, boom, long now. I go long, and now we go long. And so that's how you trade. So that's how I trade. But your guys you follow don't trade like that. They just keep shorting because that's what their intellectual mind says they needs to happen. Because a lot of traders out there don't have what I call an intellectual stop loss. They may have a profit, a stop loss, with their bank account stop loss, but they don't have a stop loss with their mind, with how they think about the market. They won't stop out with their intellectual like arguments, and they lose everything. They lose everything, or they lose their credibility. And we're seeing that now with the short traders and guys being so bold and you know who they are out there. You know who you are if you're, and you may be watching my video, and my only advice is have an intellectual stop loss. What is the criteria you're going to use to say, yeah, maybe my call was wrong? What is your invalidation criteria, not in price, but in intellect, in terms of your market understanding, and have that, and then you got to call it. And because if not, you're gonna be ruined, and you probably have a lot of people that aren't going to be happy that follow you too. So the market is doing this, but I do think it is set up for a rug pull. Watch TMF is a great example. AEHR is another great example of this type of where you break the low, you stop everyone out, then you rip higher, and then you crash later, only to do a V bottom. These usually result in V bottoms, by the way, when it finishes. So know for it when you're in it. When we get in this thing, it's gonna fall crazy fast. But know what it is. It's just like a shakeout. It's just the weekends, and then you just laugh, and then go do something. Go on vacation, whatever, and then you come back, and then you get the V bottom, and then you break this high, and then your small caps are in massive melt up mode. Okay, that's the Russell. Gold and silver. Oh, I didn't cover gold and silver today. Silver is really tricky. It's really, again, it's testing the patience of a trader. So we almost had a breakout here, and then it pulled back in this C leg, and now it came off the high, and I'm looking at it too now. One thing I'm also looking at is, could this be something else? Could it be something else? So bigger picture. And again, I'm not going to undo my labeling. I still have 5. Could this be an A, B, and we need just 21? But if you look at this here, this connector, it really corrected the whole cycle. So this is a connector for this whole cycle. So if this breaks, chances are this low at 20 will break, and then we're looking at a deeper 2. Okay? So I'm toying with the idea that I more than likely will stop myself out if we break this 21.88 level on silver, and that's got to be bearish for the overall stock market, because that would mean dollar strength, right? So we definitely are keeping an eye on it, but we did see the Russell break out, so we're gonna, next week is very important. But I do think if the silver market will break down here, it could cascade lower, which also would bring gold to these lower targets that we have down here at 1900, 1875. But if gold doesn't get there, then it is just some kind of 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, I don't know. Next week, I think there'll be a massive move in the dollar index next week. Is there some kind of news? Is CPI or something coming out? There's got to be some massive news about to come out. So the dollar index, I need one more push higher in this fifth wave to finish out the Elliott wave pattern. And again, my count can be off, so I wouldn't just take this for a grain of salt. It could be done now, but what we need to worry about is what if it jumps to 107? I mean, that's going to really put some downside pressure on the market. So I don't know. It's really, or and if it's a false breakout, then we'll have a massive downside move on a false. So I think the dollar has a major move coming, which will affect gold and silver, and more than likely the indices as well. Um, but it won't be the crash, right? It would just be a big either a big correction or a massive move higher. So we could label this in the Dow Jones maybe something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, and then I could say this is an A, B, and then we get C, C, and we get a massive move down, maybe down 700, 800 points. But that will be supported if that's again another dip. So that would be the dollar and silver taking a dump. I just showed you. Now if dollar and silver stay supported, then this is the count that I have here. So it's really really tricky. That's why it's good to just buy down in these areas, and then you don't need to worry about what's happening up here. All right, I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon. I did PayPal already. Um, I do want to look at Enphase because they were pumping that on TV. I was listening to Enphase. Has Enphase come out of its grand super cycle correction? I don't know. We need to look at that though because they were drooling all over themselves over it on TV. I doubt it. I doubt it. Not yet. It's close. It wants to. I would say just it could still be. I would say nah, not yet, not quite yet. We'll wait and see. Jury's still out on that. If it were to take out this pivot, then it's not an ABC but a WXY correction. I mean, it did hit the buy area, the Fib, so it did, from a Fibonacci standpoint, the price went deep enough, but the count didn't look right. Now, but if we get a break of 142, 143, then the bottom is in, the cycle's over, and then yeah, it's in bullish grand super cycle wave 3. And I would be looking to buy the dips. And like, why is that the case? I don't know. I don't care. Maybe interest. They said this company's interest rate sensitive. So if interest rates are going down, maybe it's benefiting more than the price of oil. But just keep an eye on it. But right now is not all clear in end phase. Not all clear yet. But we need to watch it. But this also shows you if we can get down to here, this is a pound a table buy. Long-term investment opportunity if the market gives you this present and drops it. We don't know, but we'll see what happens. And again, I'm just kind of scanning through comments. Oh, looks like I've got some more super chats. All right, Tina, Pan W, MB. I don't know what M. Oh wait, let's take a look here. Pan W. Pan W. And blew through wave 5. See, this is what the market's doing. It's like telling your bearish divergence go where, because this bearish divergence got blown to pieces. So there is no more wave 5 on that one. By the way, I called this bottom here, I think on my Twitter channel, because we had a nice 3-wave move. So if you need to follow me on Twitter. Pretty sure I have that on there. So anyway, so it's in 3 of 3 land. I mean, to me, it's you just buy the dip on any 3-wave pullback on the 4 1-hour time frame. but it looks like the first wave three should be over. The easy money's over more than likely, and then we should be topping out. And then the next one is MD, MDB. Oh, MongoDB. Yeah, they were pumping this one too on TV. Oh, Kramer was. Yeah. All right, shows a correction is over. Shows a 1-2, a new cycle. Yeah. So this one has got a new cycle higher, and that's not broken the all-time highs, but more than likely will break it. It is on its way to do that. It has not had its wave three moment like the others, but it's going to. So this is maybe CNBC's got something right for once here. For you guys that watch their channel, but I think they were recommending this, so and I would recommend it too on this setup. Absolutely, I would recommend it because this cycle broke, and so now we're gonna get a new cycle higher, right? And we'll break this high, and once we break that high, you'll have a new cycle. So yeah, you're looking at over $1,000 at some point. So I don't know what these guys do, but it does look okay. I mean, from an investment standpoint, I mean, I do like the chart. It's very clean, right? Very clean chart. Cool. It's an interesting stock right there. That's what I'd look at for now, something like that. And I was worried that this was an impulse down, but it doesn't look like the RSI doesn't support that. It shows capitulation here, and it did go deep enough, and it's between the 2 and the 4, which is pretty common for corrections on the first wave. So it meets all my criteria. And the next one, Rivian. Yeah, how's that one doing? With oil under pressure. Let's see. Where's my green? Oh, it almost tagged our buy area. It almost got there. Let's see. Yeah, in a flat. Yeah, it may be over. The correction may be over. I'm seeing signs of a reversal, so this is done. Rivian's done. I wonder what that implies. I wonder if these stocks are turning like Enphase and Rivian is implying that oil may be forming a bigger connector. We have to look at that. But I mean, I'm just trading the chart I'm looking at here, so it looks like some kind of uh, 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 yeah, more than likely it's done. And we should be heading to $40. Yeah, this would be if you're a long-term investor, you believe in the company, you don't think it's gonna be able to figure it out, then you buy it here because your stop will only be at 11, and the upside could be unlimited. I mean, a huge, right? I mean, what a nice correction to get to pick it up if you believe in the company. I don't follow the company, but the chart does show that this wave will correct, and either it will go to new highs or it will fail, but it should be continuing higher. Um, Karsten, shake, shake, shake. What is shake, shake, shake? All right, let's see here. Is that what you mean, Shake Shack? Shake? Oh, Shake Shack. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Um, yeah, I haven't looked at Shake Shack. Now, it could be a GLP-1 victim stock that people don't want anymore, but I think it's okay, but we'll just look at what the chart says. I mean, where was the low? It's saying, okay, that was higher by a penny. Really interesting chart. I mean, what crazy price action. Um, I mean, it should see new highs. I mean, it should see new highs. I would put the connector here. Yeah, look, and it tagged it exactly. So yeah, so it looks like it's a good. The correction is legit. There's your connector. And again, guys, you see how I work my system. So if I was trading this, the minute it would have broke 76, and look what it did. It did the break and pump and trash thing. Like, look, you see how it came down and it broke? It pumped and then it crashed. You see that? It's so common. So common in the market. But once on that break, you could have short that up here against that low, and then you would have covered the short here and went long. And now if you're long, you just stay long. Yeah, and now you have a wave five. Yeah, you just broke it. You just broke it. So it looks like to me you got something like this. And again, we can't predict an extension, but this seems likely, something like that. You'll have to do what's best for you. Then a massive dump to some maybe 47.50. Now, the other alternative is it's a 1-2-1-2, right? We've seen this and then it just moons. So I don't know if it's going to do that. No one knows if that can happen unless divergences start getting taken out. Let's look at the daily here. We did take it out there. Interesting. The 4 hour we haven't. Oh, that's a full cycle reset. Yeah, we're going to change the way we label this. You see how I used RSIs to help navigate my labeling on this? So yeah, so it's entering wave 3. So I like it for more upside. Okay, thanks again for the super chats. Anonymous, ING, and Solana. Cool. If you've been a long-term subscriber to my channel, guys, we called Solana's bottom, by the way. I regret not buying it, but I didn't believe in the coin when we called it. We even called the inverse head and shoulders breakout, and now it's just extending. It's just the way it goes, the way crypto goes. So we need to see if this corrected the whole cycle, or is it an extension of an existing cycle? Yeah, it's an extension of an existing cycle. So we will move that. We would call so it looks like it's in some kind of wave 5. We hope. Now it could keep extending, right? I mean, I can't tell you, like we've seen before. These things can keep extending. Something like that. So that's the cycle, and then a massive correction, but it would probably find support at $63, $60 is my guess if that happens whenever this peaks out at 140, 150. Now, that would be a good area because we shorted that. By the way, we've done well in Solana because we had the short on here. If you might trade back on my videos here, and then we called the buy here, literally here, and then it just kind of played out. So now this will definitely be massive resistance, right? It should pull back here. Even if it breaks wicks above this line, it should have a pretty gnarly pullback down here. But I would highly recommend you buy the dip in Solana if you get this 3-wave pullback right here, because look at that inverse head and shoulders. It will go vertical. It will go to $1,000 easy, I'm sure. So that's what I'm looking at here. Now Let's take a look. So there's no price action to kind of forecast the wave three. So we'll have to take a more conservative approach to forecasting it. Um, 437 is a conservative area, but you know, I think it's going to go higher than that. It's just my personal feelings, but I can't. It's not enough chart history and cycle history to know exactly how it will respond. But I think it will. I think my guess is it'll tag a triple digit number in the top of the cycle, and then ING was another one we've been bullish against. Here it's in our buy area and finding support for its breakout. So ING needs to hold $30.34. If it can do that, it has a wave three alert opportunity. If it breaks down, then wave two, and then that will be a much better, cleaner buy long. So there's another buy area if we break down at 24.68, 21.84. That would be a much nicer area to pick it up, but it may not hit that. It may already be finished. It's deciding. The market is trying to figure it out. You know, the pot is big. The poker table has grown. You know, big high stakes poker going on in ING right now with the whales. So I would just watch that. I wouldn't even try until let's see one side make a move. Now, how high can it go? Again, not enough history to know. But this is got blue skies, right? So this is a blue skies crypto that has never pumped. It's in pumping. It's like it could be, you know, like every Bitcoin cycle. There's always 3 or 4 cryptos, like it was like Matic and different ones, you know, that every cycle catch everyone's eye and they go to the moon. I think this is one of them for the 20, you know, for this cycle. I think ING is one of the ones that's just going to captivate everybody, and when it's all said and done, just use your imagination how high it can go. I don't know, but I do think, you know, we look at, I mean, if you look at this wave 3 advance, we hit the 4236. I mean, so if the wave 2 is really that shallow, I mean, that would get us to $60 here. Let me see here. Did I do that right? No, wrong. My bad. Wrong. Yeah, there. So that'd get us to like $100, $83, 83 to 100. But I think it can go beyond that. But that's just this first cycle. There could be more after this. So I don't. This one to me represents the best upside opportunity because it's blue skies, you know, price discovery type crypto. But you got to do what's best for you on that. PayPal Meta. I did PayPal earlier, but since you gave me a super chat, I will recap it again. And HSY. Let's look at that. Let's see here. This is Hershey's. That's another GLP-1 casualty company. Yeah, look at that. So I'd be careful being in these, I call them anti-GLP-1 stocks. It's obviously correct in the grand super cycle, right? I don't even need to label it. Look at the RSI reset. So the question is, I think it has another wave lower. This looks like an ABC correction in the making. So what I'm looking for is, where does the connector wave end? I mean, could that? I think that could be the connector wave. And if it is, that's pretty bearish. But it may not be. B can extend, so it's tough to say. But let's just say that's the connector wave. That gets you down to $111, $100. And really, that's a pretty normal correction for an advance. I know investors don't want to hear that, but right now, you know, fundamentally, it's out of favor because the GLP-1s, people just aren't stuffing their face anymore with sugar, you know, with these GLP-1s. And there's your wave 4. So that's yeah. This is where it's heading, guys. It's heading 100 bucks. Whatever happens here, I could care less. I wouldn't even be looking at this until it's 100 bucks. And then the next is GM. I heard that pumped or something, but they decided to like pivot away from EVs or go to hybrids. This is a flat. Well, 3 waves down. Yeah, we won't call it a flat. We'll call it something like this. And then see how we broke that low, and we're gonna rip and flat. So yeah, this is a mess. I don't like that bottom in pattern. Although you did get the RSI reset here. That's interesting. Not on the monthly. Oh wow, it's tough. It could have truncated here in a 3 wave move. This is really tough, and obviously it's went deep enough. So I would say I would take the side of being a bull on this one for now, but don't be surprised to have it come up to 45, 48, and then rug pull back down to 20 to go higher. I don't be surprised. So if you're a long-term investor, you're gonna have you may have a roller coaster ride coming. It may not just be coming off of wave three right now, but right now I'm gonna label it like this. But it does look like there's definitely more upside. But I do think there's an area of danger around 47.54 that it will have to get through. But if it can get through it, then it should be new highs. And then the next one, you got PayPal. Yeah, PayPal, like I said, I did that one, and it's in a flat correction. And flats are the hardest for traders to navigate because it takes a superior money management and knowledge and intestinal fortitude to get through. But it looks like to me an ABC, I look at it as a 1, 2, 3. It looks like this 4 wave should finish, and we should get another push down to 53, $52 for wave two. I would be surprised if it's finished here. If my labeling is off a little bit, it's possible, but for the most part, because we broke this high here, and we have this, we should see more upside, and also we've broken the whole downtrend line. So that's what I'm looking at for PayPal. Donald, good to see you. Coinbase and Disney. Yeah, hey Disney, didn't Disney work out, guys? I predicted the move higher, and we got that right. When we got it, look at that. So whoever asked me Disney, I don't know if that was you, but hopefully I helped you out. And we broke the downtrend line, so we're in a wave three. We're looking for Disney to hit 130, 140. I do think though it will. I think it's a high risk of it failing this area, but there's no guarantee. B could continue all the way up. It can even break the high, but I do think there is another leg lower at some point, and it could be years from now, but at some point this low will break at 79 for a shakeout final move, because I do not like how it bottomed here. But right now it's in bull cycle. It's in bull cycle mode. And then Coinbase, yeah, Coinbase is interesting because it was more bearish. I don't like what I saw happen here. Again, broke the low, we ripped higher. I'm looking for a push down. So where is it going to go now? Tough to say. It won't go that low, but now that it's making a flat correction, the target won't be as severe. But I'm looking for 107.95. So I do think it's in a connector now. It's in some kind of connector wave. And you're just going to have to kind of do what's best for you on this. This one is got a lot of possibilities. I do think it's in some kind of connector like that. And it could still go, again, C could still go higher and X can go higher. So it's just tough to say, but I do think this is the look of the wave for now. Thanks for the 10. So I'm going to go ahead and just scan one more time through all my comments, and then that's it. I got to go. I got things to do, and if there's anything I can... oh, long-term charts. Yeah, I'll pull those out with our new information and see where we are with them and go from there. I've been trading since really the 2007 time frame before the meltdown of Lehman, but after the dot-com bubble. So what was that? Maybe no, maybe it was 2005. Yeah, around that time frame. That's how I've been trading. Um, but I've been following the market since I was a little boy in the 80s and 90s, and so I've been very knowledgeable. My best friend's dad was a professional day trader in the 1980s and 90s, and so I've always been around stock market talk and discussion, and so I go way back. I mean, so I've picking stocks out of newspapers, for class projects, and Coca-Cola's trading at I used to do all this. So this has been something I've always done, but as using my own money and stuff, that was I didn't have have money and kids, and it was hard to get in the market back in those days. Um, but anyway, but yeah, that's how long I've been trading. Um, and Bitcoin, I gave really deep update in Bitcoin earlier. You can watch that. Yeah, this is the million-dollar question: is the Dow a fifth wave of a super cycle? It absolutely still shows that it does have the bearish divergence in place. It absolutely shows it is. It does. Now, the Moonboy scenario, it predicts that the divergence will be erased, and we will extend in wave three, and five will be erased, and that there's no way of knowing that. And if Moonboy happens, that's what happens at the indices. So look at NVIDIA, right? This is NVIDIA. So imagine the SPY doing an NVIDIA. It's hard to imagine. Now, one thing I will say about Moonboy is the the biggest single day gains in the SPY index. The index has always been at major market lows on the V bottoms that we've had. We've always seen the biggest day one. If you look on the Google single biggest one day gains, they've always been at the bottom. We've never seen a single day biggest gain in a 3 of 3 gap up moment in the SPY at all time highs. We've never ever seen that. And that to me tells me that supports a moon boy, because a wave three, you would see at least a statistic somewhere in the stock market history to show that, yeah, in this wave three we had a single day of the biggest gap, whether it's 5 or 6% in one day. We've never seen that. And so Moonboy is saying you're going to see 1 or 2 days where the stock market will have its biggest one day moves, and that would be what we see in all wave three stocks. Look at NVIDIA on its wave three breakout. It was up 35% in one day after earning. Like, most stocks gap up and run on a wave three breakout. But if the indices have never had a wave three breakout where you've seen the single day, that means it's never happened. So that means his wave three never happened, and which means that we're still in ones and twos in the indices at much higher degrees, which means Moonboy is in play. That's all that means to me. It's interesting, thought experiment, but it is that we've never seen a one day gain records in wave threes in the indices ever. So that means we've never seen a wave three. We've only seen it coming off of a bottom. So that tells me Moonboy is saying that at some point we are going to get 1 or 2 days like that. And if we see that, then we know there's no wave five in the grand super cycle. We're in wave three, and we finally have entered three of the grand super cycle since the founding of the country. And everybody's been wrong predicting the crash. And we've been in a series of ones and twos that no one saw coming, just like we saw with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is an analog. So I'm not saying one is right. And why would the indices do that? Could that be hyperinflation, dollar collapse? I don't know. I don't care why, but I'm just telling you this is what I'm thinking. And we have to think these things as we're seeing big cap trade like we're trading. I mean, anyway, let's just keep going. I did those. Like I said, I can't do any new charts because I just got to get off the call. I'm just like answering some questions. Yeah, Prector's, yeah, so Prector's thinking this, uh, right? And so there now, man, this, if this plays out Robert Prector style, this C, he's saying we're not getting a run in flat. We're not getting a correction in C. No, no, oh no, oh no. It is the whole grand super cycle, and it's going to do that. It's going to do this. I'm going to tell you, one, the C leg of a flat always is devastating. It's straight down. It's one impulse. I mean, I don't even know mechanically if the market could decline that much. I mean, I think they would just shut the market down. But anyway, let's just assume they won't, and mechanically they allow this to happen. I mean, damn. I mean, what is going to cause it? Like, I think if you guys that follow this dude, and I don't follow him, but I know his stuff, you need to ask him what will cause this, because the market mechanically and technically and systemically will not allow this. They will shut the market down. The Fed will buy the I mean, they will not allow this. So what news will like is he predicting like nuclear war or something, or like I don't understand, like there is no way that can happen mechanically. There's got to be some like, is the Yellowstone super volcano gonna blow up and destroy the United States? Like I mean, what is this saying? Our asteroid's gonna hit our planet and destroy life as we know it. I don't know like how you can even get the stock market to do that. Like, it's just not possible. It's not possible unless you have a news event to drive that kind of fear. What you need is what would ask yourself, what would make Warren Buffett panic and sell his whole stack? And this guy's been holding since the early 50s and late 40s, right? He's seen it all. So you're going to have a news event so traumatic that even he will be like, like panic, like, in those movies, like sell, oh my God, sell. Like, what would cause him to do that? I don't think, I mean, it won't even be World War III. He wouldn't even, trust me. So I don't think, that's why I don't think the Robert Prechter thing is possible, to be honest, guys. Now, I do think this is possible, and this is still my primary forecast, by the way. This, it's still my primary forecast. So, but yeah, I mean, that guy, man, he's a, God help us when, and then ask this dude, well, if all that happens and we're trading down there, how's life gonna be for everybody? I mean, life would it would probably be the Wild West, and like, everyone, it would be like horrible out there. People desperate, shooting each other for food. I mean, it would be like the worst way, it'd be like the Dark Ages. I mean, this is horrible to even contemplate. But I mean, if he thinks it, I mean, there's always two sides to every market, I guess. That's what they say. Yeah, I have to do some videos and help people, teach people on it. Yeah, Tesla. Well, yeah, let's do our Tesla because I know you guys follow that, and maybe we'll touch on Meta, and then I'm done after that. So Tesla, we're looking for this B wave connector, and I want to see a push to 160. Remember, I mentioned the dollar index can break higher, silver lower, so we could get this. Um, if we continue to extend, then this, I don't know, it truncated, which would be really bullish. Um, yeah, we're not quite there yet. So watch this 4-hour RSI line. If we break that line, then the correction is over and it truncated. But if not, it's still bear mode. So I still be looking for this pullback and see. And then yeah, then it should hit wave 3. Now the next thing is Meta. Where do I have Meta at? So Meta's extending the grand super cycle wave 3, just like Nvidia. So we need to kind of look at where it can go. So there was this first wave 2. It nailed the 1618 exact. Well, wait a minute. Sorry here. Well, it nailed the 1236 extension, and then it peaked there. 546. So I'm looking for 546 or 687 in this area. Um, and until then, I think it's got more upside. We are in wave three, so just hold on tight, and it should continue higher. I mean, you don't really need to do a lot of labeling. I think if you get dips in three waves, you should buy them. But I think this is the area of resistance that we should see in Meta. You know, so more to come on that. But again, it could continue to extend. Berlin, cool. Yeah, I get people watching me from all over the world. I love YouTube, man. Um, all right, so I got to wrap it up, guys. If I didn't get your question answered, I'll be on again, and I'll keep doing videos. I appreciate everything, and yeah, just stay safe trading. I think we'll have a pretty big move next week. It's just tough to say where we're going, but the long-term trend is still higher. No matter, even if we get a deep pullback tomorrow, next week with a dollar spike, I do think it's still higher. But the dollar could have already finished, and as well as silver, which indicates the market is in melt-up mode, and there'll be no pullback. And one side of the market will be not left behind, or whatever you want to call it.